John here. Here's lick of the day number 71. This is an Unbluesy blues run in C. As usual, you can find a link to the tabs in the description below or by clicking right here on the screen. I'm going to play it slow once and then break it down. We start on the 8th fret of the low E string. Right, so we start with an ascending 3-octave blues scale run using 3 notes per string, strictly alternate picked. The whole thing is alternate picked. At least that's the way how I do it. So if you learn this shape, 8, 11, 13 on the E string, 9, 10, 13 on the A string. That's the basic shape. So one thing that's handy when it comes to the blues scale, and if you want to use 3 notes per string, is that the blues scale has actually 6 notes. So you can cover an entire octave of the blues scale on just 2 strings, like this. Because we have the root, flat 3, 4, flat 5, 5, flat 7. And then we restart on this, the 10th fret, the C note on the 10th fret of the D string, and then you play exactly the same shape from here. And then you repeat that from the 13th fret of the B string. So you have to slightly bigger skip here, 1 extra fret because of the B string. The shape itself is intact though, because we're only using strings that are tuned in fourths. So we have E and A, D and G, B and E. So the last shape here, from the beginning. Then I go up to the root, so position shift. And you really want that to be a position shift, so there's no sliding basically. All right, after that we're gonna go down using this sequence. That might look like a lot of notes and confusing, but we start here on the high E string on the 20th fret, so we just go down 20, 18, 15, and then from this point on, we're going to play the same sequence on each string, but conform our fingers to the actual shape. But once you know, except these 3 notes, so if you come up here or down here to the B string, we're going to play 18, 16, 20, 18, 16. So this 5-note pattern. Shift that down to the root position, or the root here on the 13th fret, and then we're going to play another 5-note pattern. And we'll repeat that on the G string, shift it down, repeat again on the D string, shift down, repeat on the A string, shift down, and finally on the low E, we only go as far as. So again, we have 3 notes, and then we have a 10-note sequence on each string, starting with an upstroke. So it's going to be up, 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 and then down for the downbeat. So if you can see that, it will be way easier to memorize this. But the subdivision that I'm using here and the way that it's written out, which you of course can and should change, is 16th notes. And this ends up being, let's see how many bars. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 bars actually. And we stop on the first note to the 5th bar. So if I play it again fairly slowly, and then you can try it yourself. Practice-wise here, work on your general alternate picking, of course, but for this lick in particular, you can work on that part of it, and then start on upstroke here on the A string. Start on the D string, G string, and the B string. And then you should also go up. You can actually loop that, so you just follow the notation from there, but you go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, shift up, and then you end up on the same pick stroke. So that's actually a pretty good loopable sequence. And I think loopable sequences are the best when you're trying to learn something, because it's easier to get into a flow and get a lot of reps in. So after that, you can basically do that, and then from here, since we have an even number, and that's what we want for a loop, and just make sure that you start with an upstroke here if you want to, learn the lick exactly as I played it. So it's going to be up, up, and and then you go through the whole thing like that. Right, that's it for this one. If you have any questions, just post them below. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this one, and see you in the next one.